to On the Field, Off the Field. This is a podcast presented to you by ASE Sports, and I'm your host, G. Watts, a.k.a. The Voice, coming to you live from Blythewood, South Carolina. I hope everybody's been doing good. I hope everybody has had a great week. It's been a good little minute since I last posted something, so I wanted to try to do something today to kind of put out on my YouTube. As I kind of prep to go live. I tell people right now, my social media doesn't have a lot on it for ASE Sports. I'm just still trying to build it up since it's kind of just me working as my own team right now. But still trying to kind of develop content. So once I'm ready to go live, I already have some stuff out there. So that's one of my main goals as far as trying to stay consistent with trying to do this podcast here. I ain't gonna lie to you, still kind of nervous about it. Still kind of have my little doubts, my doubts about it, but thanks to, people kind of still behind me, pushing me to kind of continue to do it. Like I said, I still want to try to stay consistent and keep putting stuff out. So, like I said, this is On the Field, Off the Field. I am your host, G. Watts, a.k.a. The Voice. And before we move forward, just a little bit about ASE Sports. We do specialize in consulting services for athletes, sports managers, and sports organizations to assist with understanding and evolving their overall processes and procedures to yield success in their respective sports segments. ASE Sports also looks to provide the most up-to-date information on our social platforms relating to both on the field and off the field activities that can assist with navigating the sports industry as well as the sports career. Feel free to use the links in our description box to check us out on our social platforms. And that does include our primary website, which I do have up on the screen right now, as well as Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Also, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you do enjoy this presentation. That will definitely be appreciated. Furthermore, if you would like to see if ASE Sports can assist you, either as an athlete or the parent of an athlete, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and I will be happy to set up a free consultation with you to discuss, how, if we would be a good match working together. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to get into it. Like I said, I hope everybody's been doing good and had a great week. It's currently Saturday. Got up, I cleaned the house a bit, and I said, I'm gonna try to put some time into doing a little podcast segment here real quick, trying to do something a little different. Got a little visual presentation going. So since I last posted, a lot has happened in the sports world. Oh, my bad. So like I said, this is my primary website right here. I created this with Wix. Eventually, I'll get this out of the title up at the top, and it'll kind of look, clean, just my website. But this is kind of what I got so far. Wix is not that bad. It's pretty good, pretty clean. A lot of templates, options you can use to customize your website. As you can see here, probably created by me. So this is my website right here. I do have to I feel like I got a lot more to do. I want to put more blogs on here. Might, kind of want to clean it up a bit, little things, but I definitely want to pay for the business version of this. So once I kind of get that, I could do things such as like take payments on the website. I have more kind of features and options that open up to me. So definitely waiting to kind of make that happen. So, but this is the website here. If you do look to contact me via the website, this is kind of what you'll be presented with. It does look a little different on if you're using a mobile device, but if you are like on a desktop, this is kind of what you'll get. So, like I say, feel free to come on, come here, check it out. Send me a little message, just kind of say hey. But yeah, definitely would love to engage with you all here through my website. So, but like I said, though, a lot has happened in the sports world since I had last posted. One of which is the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. And I know, for everybody who's probably been living under a rock like me, If you didn't know, yeah, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and I know that because they had to go through the Miami Dolphins in the first round in the wild card to get there, and they did beat us 26-7. They say that was one of the coldest playoff games in NFL history. And being from Miami, uh, I don't care where these guys are from, but once you spend time in Miami, you kind of get used to that particular weather. So I don't think the temperature helped us at all up there. I was kind of disappointed because we had the number one offense in the league, and we only put up 7 points. I mean, like I said, it could have been the weather, but at the end of the day, these guys get paid a lot of money to, show up and show out. So, as a fan, I was definitely disappointed. But based on that, my hat's off to Patrick Mahomes because with this past Super Bowl win, he did surpass Peyton Manning and John Elway for the most Super Bowl wins. Peyton Manning has two, John Elway has two, I believe, as well. And he did so in a faster time frame than both of those quarterbacks. And both of those quarterbacks, as we know, are Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So, I mean, looking toward the future, obviously we'll probably see Patrick Mahomes in that same conversation. So, um, but yeah, taking a look here, it took Elway 15 seasons to win his first Super Bowl. He actually went to the Super Bowl prior to that, but he couldn't, they couldn't pull it off. So um, he's made multiple Super Bowl appearances, but he only won two. Like I said, it took him 15 seasons to win his first one. Um, and Peyton Manning, obviously, we know he played with the Colts and the Broncos, but it took Peyton Manning 9 seasons to win his first Super Bowl with the Colts. Um, and like I said, Patrick Mahomes now has his third Super Bowl win. Um, and based on his age, his skill, his talent, his capabilities, if the team continues to build around him, I mean, he could be looking at least like one or two more Super Bowl wins. I mean, and that's just a minimum. So, you know, definitely, hats off to Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I ain't no Chiefs fan, but you got to give respect when respect is due. So definitely hats off to him. Wish him well, and much success in the future. All right. Now this one here is for my homeboy Jay Bradley. Of course, one of the biggest storylines in sports. It did come from women's college basketball. And obviously there was a lot of news that, a lot of storylines that surrounded women's college basketball this year or this past year. But one of the biggest ones, of course, is the University of South Carolina. The Lady Gamecocks, they did go undefeated. Um, and they also won their third national championship in the last 10 years. Obviously, those three championships are the only championships the Gamecocks has won. Prior to Coach Don Staley arriving at the university, the Lady Gamecocks did not win any national titles since they were inducted in 1974. Um, so that was definitely like something great to see. Don Staley did a great job of leading those young women, through adversity because they did face a lot of adversity. They faced a lot of good teams. So she did a great job of keeping them physically and mentally prepared to go the long run. As they had to bounce through March Madness in the tournament, and they took it all away, defeating was it Iowa? I believe so. Defeating Iowa. Sorry about that. I had a had a little brain fart there. But yeah, so they did great on defeating Iowa this year, taking home, like I said, their third national title. On the court, the Lady Gamecocks were led by players such as Ashley Watkins, Camila Cardosa, Malaysia Fulwiley, Raven Johnson, Bree Hall. Uh, Dang, I don't want to say her name wrong. Pow Pow. But they had a great crew that played well as a team together. And although they did lose Camila Cardosa, who left for the WNBA, and also I think it was Tahina Papau. She was a senior. I think she graduated. But even though they had a couple big, kind of departures, they are retaining a lot of their starters as well as their bench players who actually made a big impact for them, not only through the season but also throughout uh, uh, the tournament as well. So, and also I mean, Dawn does a great job of recruiting. She did pick up, I believe, two top players. Um, so I mean, I think, you know, I mean, I'm anxious to see how they come back next year. See if they could go ahead and see if they could do it again and go undefeated, win four. I mean, it's tough to go undefeated in any league. I don't care, high school, college, if you on the pro level. I mean, it happens, but it is tough. So, at the end of the day, man, my best wishes to them. Like I said, I think they're going to come back strong. They're going to make up, I mean, all roads run through the Lady Gamecocks. I think when you're talking, trying to get back to that national title. So I know there's a lot of other good teams out there. Don't get me wrong, a lot of other great players. Um, but definitely as a team, and as a unit, yeah, the Lady Gamecocks are going to be the ones to beat. I think so. Um, shout out to them. Shout out to Jay Bradley too. Like I said, I think he got me more involved with uh, or back involved with college basketball. I did kind of shy away from it for a while, but this past season, men's and women's, they both were exciting to see. So I did catch a lot of good games. But yeah, shout out to Jay Bradley for. I mean, we talk a lot. We got a lot of we have a lot of rhetoric at the job, about different things in sports. Have my other coworkers, Miss Sharon, Marvin, MJ. I mean, we all talk sports. Um, every day we come in, it's almost like we have our own little podcast session right there at work. I wish I could kind of record us. And I'm gonna keep that idea in the back of my mind, just record us talking and kind of, bring it together and make it, kind of a nice presentation with that. But hopefully one day what I'm looking to do is have them on the show. So if they are listening, yeah, definitely gonna be looking. I want to look to bring them in and have them on the show. So I'm looking forward to that, and we'll look to make that happen. So, all right. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little break. We'll take a little break, and we will be back with On the Field, Off the Field, presented to you by ASE Sports. All right, welcome back, everybody, to On the Field, Off the Field, presented to you by ASE Sports. Once again, I'm your host, G. Watts, a.k.a. The Voice, coming to you from Blythewood, South Carolina. If you're tuning back in, thank you for doing so. I appreciate you. Jumping right back into it. Next topic I want to talk about is, of course, the hometown Miami Heat. So the hometown Miami Heat, if you don't know, we finished with the 8th seed overall for the season. Um, we did lose to Philly in the play-in, and then we went up against Chicago, beat Chicago. So we was able to grab that eighth seed. But of course, in that first round against Boston, we didn't do so well. We ended up losing the series 4-1. Yeah, it was a tough loss. Definitely a tough loss. But yeah, we lost that first round 4-1 to the Celtics, who are currently in the finals. So it's not that bad. It's not to say that, hey, that was a great team. If anybody, I guess you want to lose to, it is, you want it to be a good team, such as the Celtics. Not to try to make an excuse, but I mean, now you know what you got to look forward to. Going into the off season, going into next year, what you got to look to build upon. to be able to compete with these guys. So um, now, not trying to make another excuse, but the Miami Heat have been plagued with injuries throughout the whole season. We've been heavily plagued by injuries. It doesn't even make any sense, and it's been tough for us to compete without a primary starting five. If you look at the Celtics, they've kind of went through the whole series with their core five, core starting five. I think except for maybe a couple games where Porzingis went out. But at the end of the day, they found a way to keep their guys healthy. Um, and these guys are durable. So, and that makes a difference. When you're able to kind of play majority of the season, you guys kind of gel and mold together, or the players are able to gel and mold together, um, which obviously makes it, a better, um, gives you a better opportunity when it comes to playoff competition. So, um, this past season, kind of based on the amount of injuries we had in Miami, the Heat actually set a franchise record with more than 35 starting lineups this season. Um, and the previous record was 31 prior to that. I can't remember if it was the Miami Heat's record, might have been, or the NBA, the overall record for the NBA. But the previous record was 31, and like I said, I think it was for Miami. But they did set a franchise record with the most starting lineups, or more the most different starting lineups this season. So um, we lost one of our biggest components in Josh Richardson. We lost him for the season. Him needing to have shoulder surgery. States here for instability. Kind of sounds like my college injury that I had, in which I would basically, as a defensive lineman, once I go to try to engage with an offensive lineman and kind of create separation through extending my arms, it's almost like my shoulder would kind of pop out the socket and pop back in. I forgot what they called it, but basically it was like, dude, like I had like loose joints. Um, but I ended up having rotator cuff surgery because of that in college. So that's what it kind of sounded like to me for Josh Richardson's injury. And so I hope he has a speedy full recovery, because obviously, I mean, with any surgery, any injury, you want to make sure that you're 100% before you come back. And I'm always going to say that. So, but obviously, looking toward the future, hopefully it doesn't affect his playing ability, whether it's in Miami or anywhere else. Hopefully he can come back, and still kind of be at the same level of play he was before he went out. Um, uh, as you probably also know, we lost Terry Rozier. Um, he came into Miami this season. He made a big impact, especially toward the end of the season, when we had, I think when we lost, like, what, Jimmy. Uh, we had a couple of absences due to injury, and Terry Rozier definitely stepped up toward the end of the season. Let me see if I can pull up his stats here. What did he finish with? Regular season, 23.2 points per game, shooting 45%, just under 50, 35.8% from three. I mean, he really contributed, and that was only like, kind of half the season for him in a sense. So, um, but we did lose him for the last 4 games of the regular season due to neck spasms, and that subsequently, excuse me, that basically kept him out of the playoffs as well. I ain't gonna try to say it right now. I'm just going to keep it moving. Excuse me. So, but yeah, it definitely kept him out of playoff action. Those neck spasms, I guess they were pretty serious because, obviously if he, it wasn't like a fracture or sprain, something like that. So it must have been pretty serious. So um, we should see him healthy, I would think, by the start of the upcoming season, 2024-2025 NBA season. So I'm excited to see what he would be able to do in a full season. Um, so we're definitely going to look out for him. Keep our eyes on him. as you know too, Jimmy Butler went down with a knee injury in the play-in tournament, and that definitely affected our outcome. I think I'm pretty sure a lot of people think it affected our outcome versus Boston. But Jimmy did go down versus Philly. I think he sprained his MCL. And, the expectation was he would be back, but in order for him to, kind of be able to come back, we would have needed to kind of go deeper into the playoffs. And obviously we didn't do that. So it just gave him a little more time to rest. I think our entire team kind of needed that rest. So I mean, of course, we want to see him, go all the way. But at the end of the day, when you fighting injuries, fighting fatigue, um, you know, different things like that, travel, to a certain, extent. Hey, if you're done, then hey, let's plan for the future. Let's not try to force nothing in the present time. So, um, we also lost Jaime Jaquez Jr. Game 5 of the series against Boston. He was ruled out with a strained hip flexor. Now, I mean, one of the biggest things Miami's going to have to look to do in the offseason is find a way to try to keep these guys healthy, especially the individuals coming back from injuries. So hopefully the staff, the training staff, the coaching staff, even and the players kind of all put their heads together and figure out a way how to kind of manage preventing these particular injuries. Because I mean, it obviously affects the team, and it affects the player as well. Because mentally, when you're coming off an injury, if you're not right all the way there, I mean, sometimes they say you might go back out there and get injured again. Um, but like I said, we should see each of these players uh, by the start of the 2024-2025 season. We should see each of these players healthy. Fingers crossed. And like I said, I am anxious to see what Miami what the Heat does overall with a healthy squad for the full season. So don't count us out just yet. All right. Um, Now, with the injury part, one point I want to make here is players on all levels, youth, college, and the professional level. Please remember to take care of your bodies to be better prepared for competition. Get your rest. If you have an existing injury, man, try to get it checked out. I mean, you got to go to a doctor. If you got a trainer, definitely, kind of seek that attention to that injury. Try to catch it early. Don't try to keep playing on it and kind of making it worse. Um, I mean, eat right, train your bodies when you're in the weight room, man, go hard. Understand that, being in the weight room, that's for your safety as well. So guys go in there and they like to kind of like, kind of BS and play around, but I mean, really that's for your safety as well. I see it as an athlete and as a coach, where, you're prepping your bodies for this particular competition out here, so you got to use the weight room to your advantage every time you have an opportunity to go in there. Um, like I said, man, just be mindful, of your bodies, what your bodies can take. Like I said, if you're hurting it, if it's something you can fight through, if it's something that you can't fight through, try to catch these injuries early. Like I said, eat right, man, because I believe it was from the National Library of Medicine. They stated that sports injuries are one of the most common injuries in modern Western societies. So treating sports injuries is often difficult, expensive, and time consuming. And based on that, excuse me, preventative strategies and activities are justified, um, you know, on both medical and economic grounds, so, take the time, to, engage in any preventative strategies and activities that you could take. Stretching is always big for preventing injuries, but take the steps to prevent the injury to avoid having to face the consequences medically and financially if you do have to come out of pocket in the long run. So, and I'm not saying that you can't get injured if you do all those things. You still might get injured, but like I said, how they say, man, stay ready so you never have to get ready, man. Just stay prepared, man. Keep your bodies prepared. So in the it might be that one moment where because you stretched well before the game, you get rolled up on or something, you twist your ankle, and that's the difference between you just spraining it and tearing something, so definitely do what you need to do to prevent injuries. Like I said, that's for players on all levels. Um, but looking back at the Miami Heat, man, going into the off season, I'm anxious to see kind of what they're going to do as far as um roster changes are going to go. Um, I mean, I know we got a good amount of players that's on the free agent list. I mean, I really don't know who we really would be targeting. You got all these different articles. Of course, you got Jimmy Butler and Donovan Mitchell. I mean, I ain't knocking Donovan Brand, but I don't know if I want, Donovan. You know what I'm saying? So let me see if we can find this, man. Future Miami Heat free agents. Let me see, bro. Let me see. Let's go 2024 free agents. 2024. Miami is set to have 12 players under contract entering the offseason, and that includes Butler, Hero, and Adebayo. Deion Wright and Patty Mills are the team's only unrestricted free agents. That gives the Heat a strong foundation for the 2024-2025 season. But it leaves the club with little financial flexibility. That's not good to hear. All right, let me click into that. I'm gonna go ahead and jump back out of there. Okay. All right. Now, when you looking at the draft, I mean, we got what number 15 pick. My hope with that is that they actually are able to grab a player like Zach Edey. And, looking at some articles, it kind of seems like Zach Edey um, might be available. You know what I mean? Kind of based on he might be available one for Miami to pick it with the 15th pick, basically. So I mean I saw some other articles that said he kind of rose in his draft. He rose his draft stock. So I mean, hopefully if he falls down to 15, hopefully Miami grabs him up. I heard or my homeboy said that he feel like Zach Edey might not fit into that Miami and Coach Spoelstra's strategy, kind of like a run and gun, because I mean Spo like to run the court. You know what I mean? That's why we kind of even play on the sides. I think he definitely likes to move a lot, likes to run the court. But I believe that they could bring Zach Edey in, get him in the right shape, and help him develop into the type of player that can be dominant in the NBA. I mean, we could put Bam back to a true four position. I mean, that'd be like, I mean, you know, Twin Towers down there, man. Got Bam, you got Zach. Man, I'll take that. So that's just my hope, man. You know what I mean? If I was calling the shots, I'd go ahead and grab up Zach Edey. But I mean, like I said, I don't know where they got him at now. Uh, let's see his draft projection. 15. How about that, man? He's projected to go 15. Hey, I'm telling you, man, he coming to Miami, baby. He coming to Miami. Let's go, Miami. Hey, bro, hey, that's gonna be crazy if we get Zach Edey, man. Let's go. Let's go, baby. That's a true center right there in my eyes. That's a true center. And I feel like he can move and run the court. Like I said, he might have to get into NBA shape, but once he does, man, he's gonna be a problem. So, man, hey, let's go. Let's go. All right. So NBA draft is June 26th and June 27th. So we got about 25 days, just over 3 weeks. So definitely excited, man. I hope y'all tune in. I'm gonna tune in for at least that first round. And like I said, man, fingers crossed that we get Zach Edey. And if not, we get somebody of a similar caliber. So as always, it's Let's Go Heat Nation. And with that, we'll take another break and we'll be back with On the Field, Off the Field, presented to you by a.k.a. 'a. 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 ' on the field, off the field, presented to you by ASE Sports. And I am your host, G Watts, a.k.a. The Voice. Once again, coming to you live from Blythewood, South Carolina. It's a nice, beautiful Saturday right now. Got a little time to myself. Of course, like I said, just trying to hit this podcast, whenever I can to stay consistent. So, um, thank you for tuning back in if you did do so. And next topic I want to cover, just a couple more points, man. We kind of we're going to jump into the NFL. Now, the first thing I want to kind of talk about, I saw this. And I mean, I kind of just caught it. It wasn't like highly, publicized in a sense. So I kind of caught it, unless I just been living under a rock that much. But, um, excuse me. Um, there's a new NFL kickoff rule, where the kick will be from the 20-yard line in states. Let's see here. Make sure I got it right. What is the new kickoff rule in the NFL? Oh, I got a video. I want a video. But basically, man, it looks like they're based on how they're setting up the new kickoff in the NFL, it looks like it's going to make it more safer in a sense. From with all these big dudes just kind of just like banging into each other from long range and long distances. You got the kickoff team, they're running full speed. You got the receiving team, and they're running backwards trying to turn around. And I mean, and I mean, I know teams will go as far as putting O linemen as part of the blocking for the receiving team. So you got these guys running full speed trying to run into a wall of, like, you got two O linemen, man. It's you talk about concussions and injuries, man. So uh I'm pretty, I was pretty, kind of happy. I thought that was cool to learn that they did change the kickoff rule there. So let's see. Kickoffs will remain at the 35-yard line, but the remaining team players on the kicking unit will line up at the opposing team's 40-yard line. The receiving team lines up with at least 7 players in the setup zone, a 5-yard area between their own 35 and 30-yard lines, with a maximum of 2 returners. I'm assuming who can line up in the landing zone. After the ball is kicked, the kicker cannot cross the 50-yard line, and 10 kicking team players cannot move until the ball hits the ground or a player in the landing zone or goes into the end zone. Nice. The receiving team's players in the setup zone also cannot move until the kick has hit the ground or a player in the landing zone or the end zone. The returners may not move at any time before or during the kickoff. Wow, that's crazy. And I guess this is what it's going to look like now. That's the kicking team, I'm assuming. And this is and that's going to be a return team. Yeah, those are 2 returners. So let's see. Subject to renewal in 2025. It's definitely gonna look a tad funky. It's definitely gonna look a tad funky. uh, but you see, the hope is that it revitalizes a dying play while also keeping injuries, particularly head injuries, to a minimum. So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool that they did that. So I wanted to kind of, show y'all that. Um, and next up, of course, I know we're gonna have to jump into my boys, man. No, we got to jump into my boys, man. No, we got to jump into my boys, man. Goddamn Miami Dolphins, bro. Miami Dolphins, bro. How we go, bro? How we do what we did, bro, last season, and how we do what we did in the season, and go out to Kansas City, bro. We flopped, bro. We flopped. I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, like I said, the weather could have played a role, but man, no excuses, bro. We gotta learn how to play through these things, man, to be champions, bro. But of course, man, Chiefs sent us into the offseason. Um, so Miami Dolphins had a lot of key departures. Um, we also had some key arrivals. You know, these arrivals I mean, to me, they're looking like, potential short and long term replacements. I think a lot of these guys got like 1 year contracts. Um, so it's like I guess they're gonna give them a year, test them out, see how they do, which is kind of smart from an organizational standpoint. Um, as long as the players are on board with it as well. So, but a lot of the departures that we did see, man, I guess, like I said, I mean, I guess it's understandable, but man, man, we lost some big players, man. So let's see here where we at, man. Here's a breakdown of every 2024 NFL free agent signing by the Dolphins and how each will impact. Now, I don't want the signings. I guess since we're here, man, look like we got Shaquille Barrett. Let me see, you got that 1 year deal. Jonas Smith from the Falcons, 2 year deal. Got Jordan Brooks. I mean, he got a 3 year deal. Okay. And I mean, Jonah got a 2 year. Okay. Isaiah Wynn, guard, offensive guard. He got a 1 year. And Brewer, offensive center. He actually got a 3 year deal. So, I mean, they say he allowed 21 sacks over the past 3 seasons. That's the most among qualified centers in that span. So hopefully, man, he does improve. Um, hopefully he does improve, man. I mean, especially if he's supposed to be a starter. I will have to check into the depth chart. Not too sure. But with a 3 year deal, you might think he's going to be seeing some type of playing time. So, um, oh yeah, it looks like he will be the new starting center. Connor Williams' contract expires at the start of the new league year, and he is still mending from a torn ACL. All right, it says Brewer started 40 games in 4 years with the Titans. Okay, he's durable. All right, we got Kendall Fuller, cornerback. He was a former commander though. That's the thing, bro. And like, bro, like the Redskins were not good. I'm like, bro, like, come on now. Like, not knocking you, Kendall Fuller, man. I don't know. I gotta take a look at some video. But as you know, when a team is bad, it overshadows anything good. It's hard to see it unless you really watch it. So, I mean, I'm gonna take a look at some video of this guy, Kendall Fuller, and I'm gonna just, I'm gonna see what he's looking like. So, um, he got a 2 year deal. He's going to be opposite Jalen Ramsey, they saying, or possibly. But as you know, we did lose Xavier Howard, so which is understanding. He, like I say, he was kind of facing injuries. I I feel like, man, he hasn't been playing as well as he did early on in his career with the Dolphins, but I mean, he still obviously was a key player in the defense, So, um, but I mean, they said that he made a cryptic post. I forgot what platform it was. He made a cryptic post like he would come back to Miami, or he's made a statement, not a statement. Let me say he's gave interest that he's willing to come back to Miami, but obviously we ain't resigned him yet, so I don't know. But Kendall Fuller, we're gonna see what you got 2024, 2025. Hopefully, hopefully you don't let us down, man. Who was Eli Apple? Oh my God, man! I know you're pretty sure he's probably a good guy, but man, bro, Eli Apple was getting smoked last season, man. He caused us a lot of plays, man. So, I mean, I just don't want to see a repeat of that, man. So, all right, Kendall Fuller, best wishes to you. Anthony Walker Jr., not too sure this guy. He got a 1 year deal. Say he might rotate an inside linebacker. Braxton Berrios. I mean, he did his thing. He did his thing, returning. I think, he looked smooth out there, you know what I'm saying? In the position, but I would like to see him more involved as far as the offense go, because I mean, I feel like he has a great skill set for a small wide receiver. Kind of reminds me of like a Wes Welker type. Obviously he's not Wes Welker, but I mean he got 1 year, so hopefully they really utilize him this year. Other than just being a returner. Benito Jones, 1 year deal, came from the Lions, 6'1", 335. Sounds like a horse. All right. He's been in Miami before. They say it's not Christian Wilkins. Christian Wilkins, as you know, we lost him as well. Sad to see him go. That was crazy. But uh, I think he got a good deal. But Benito Jones will help fill the void left by Wilkins and Raekwon Davis, and we'll see what he got. It says a low risk move, of course, being that it is a 1 year deal. We got Neville Gallimore. He's a D tackle, got a 1 year deal. And all these guys I got to take a look at. Nick Needham, they say he's been, he's been out with an injury. So, but they say he's supposed to be a baller. So, we're going to see with Nick Needham, Robert Jones. We got another guard, Jody Forston, another tight end. I don't know what we're going to do with all these tight ends. We already got Durham Smythe. So, I mean, I don't see all these tight ends making it, through camp or through preseason. So, Syrian Neal, don't know this guy. He's a Buffalo Bill. He's more of a big nickel type of a cornerback. He's 29 years old. Got a 1 year deal. We'll see what he got. Jonathan Harris, another D tackle. Deshaun Hand, another D tackle. Davion Dixon, another D tackle. I see a Mac, another. See it like everybody, all these guys, all these D. I don't know, man. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 D tackles so far. Now I don't know. They might be. I don't know if it might be ends, but that D tackle. So we got 7 D tackles that we signed. I don't know if all these guys are going to make it through too. Um, I mean, you're gonna have to show me. So you're gonna have to show me that we retained 7 D tackles. Um, but like I said, yeah, let me see. They got a lot of these guys got 1 year deals. So I mean, like I say, we'll see. And last dude, Kendall Lamb, he was offensive tackle. Resigns. He resigned with the Dolphins on a 1 year deal. He's a primary swing tackle. All right, so we'll see what we got. We'll see what he got. He operates behind Teron Armstead. Uh, okay. All right. It's always valuable to have somebody who can play both sides of the line, both tackles, left side and right side. Left tackle and right tackle. Especially if it's the blind side of the quarterback. Everybody know, it's a different element when you're rushing. Well, defensive end knows it's a different element, like rushing both sides of the quarterback. And of course, it is with the tackles as well. So they like to put a lot of one of their best tackles on that backside, on the blind side of the quarterback. So, I mean, it's good to have a guy who can play both ways just in case we see somebody go down, knock on wood. But like one of our starters go down, it's always good to have somebody who plays both ways. So, uh, let me see if I can find out. Let me see who left the Dolphins, man, because I know I put departures in there, man. Roster, depth chart, injuries, transactions. Let me see, bro. Let's go ahead and jump back real quick, man. Let's jump back. Let's see. Miami Dolphins departures 2024. Come on. Come on, let's go. All right. Sports Illustrated. Let's see what you got, bro. We already talked about our acquisitions. Aaron Brewer. Yeah, I think we saw that one. Mm-hmm. Jack Driscoll. Okay. I didn't see that one. Isaiah Wynn beside him. Elijah Campbell, Robert Jones, Jake Bailey. Our departures, we had 11 departures. Christian Wilkins, he left for the Las Vegas Raiders. Robert Hunt left for the Panthers. Brandon Jones, the Broncos. Van Ginkel, the Vikings. Oh my God, bro. Raekwon Davis, the Colts. Van Ginkel, he had to grow on me, but he was a baller. I can't lie. He showed up. Van Ginkel, he definitely showed up a lot, man, especially rushing off that edge, bro. So I think that was a big loss to us, man. Brandon Jones was a pretty big loss, I think. Excuse me, we lost Raekwon Davis. So yeah, we got all those 7 D tackles, man. Like, so we lost Christian Wilkins and Raekwon Davis. So dang, that's gonna be, I guess they really trying to find like, a solid, group of replacements. One thing I was taught is that you want to have obviously a good one team and a good two team. So I mean, you're looking at least 4, 5 D tackles. Like I said, we signed 7. I don't think they all gonna make it, bro. um, yeah, we lost Xavier Howard, of course. Jerome Baker, man, he went to the Seahawks. Obviously, Xavier Howard, he was released because of a failed physical, which is sad to hear. I don't know if maybe if he took it serious or whatever, whatnot. But I mean, if you really wanted to come back to Miami, you would have made sure everything was kind of in order, as far as that goes. So, I still wish him the best of luck wherever he lands. So I still think he has a few more years to make an impact to somebody's team. So, like I said, Jerome Baker, he's gone. He went to the Seahawks. Emmanuel Agba, he got released. Oh, I'm gonna have to look more into that again, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, but I knew he departed, but dang, he got released. Keon Croson released. Deshaun Elliott went to Pittsburgh. Cedric Wilson Jr. New Orleans. I mean, Cedric Wilson wasn't that bad of a player too. He's a nice little role player out there. Of course, we got some unsigned free agents here. River Craycraft. That's crazy, crazy name. We got Chase Claypool, Robbie Chosen, Tyler Croft, Kendall Lamb, Connor Williams and Jonathan Harrison, Melvin Ingram, Bruce Irvin, Justin Houston, Calvin Munson, Eli Apple, Justin Bethel. I'm assuming these players were unsigned free agents, so they just I'm assuming we're not bringing them back. I heard we wasn't bringing back Claypool. I could have sworn I heard we wasn't bringing back Eli Apple. I'm hoping we don't bring back Eli Apple. I'm sorry, bro, but like I said, man, he was getting killed on a lot of plays, bro, especially key plays, third down plays, like what I mean, long yards type plays, like so it's like we can't have you, bro. I can't have you back, man. Man, so coming up toward the end of the show, man, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys get out of here. But before we do, man, I learned, I think was it last week, like it was sad, man, to have learned about it, man. But I actually went to school with him, Antonio Brown. Now I don't know, man. He might be, he might got some money hidden somewhere, but the story was, man, after earning 80 million, Antonio Brown filed for bankruptcy, man. They said I think his assets were only like 50K. Like he stated he only had 50K in assets. Man, that's not just even money, that's assets. That's just like everything you own. So like I said, I don't know, man. Like I don't know. Maybe like I said, he got some money tucked away somewhere else. In a sense I'm hoping so. I know it probably wouldn't be right, but I'm hoping so. But it's just crazy, bro. Like to hear that, man. I actually went to school with Antonio. Um, we went to Miami Norland together. I was a senior I think he was a sophomore. Um, but man, Antonio, you know, funny guy, man. I mean, I think he was good at heart. But I always tell people Antonio, man, how like he'll change plays in the huddle, bro. Like he'll change the coach's plays in the huddle, man. Like and he did one game, man, against the West, and that was the only touchdown I think we scored on offense, man. Yeah, he actually I think changed the play to he took like a quarterback draw and he took it to the house, man. So man, that jump was crazy. That was the only touchdown we scored. The only other touchdown we scored was a defensive touchdown. We scored that because I had a strip fumble. Um, Strip fumble. My homeboy, I think was Shannon. My homeboy Shannon scooped and scored it. Took it to the crib. Hey man, I still remember that night, man. So that was a big night. My senior year, we played Northwestern, man. So we was anxious to beat them. I think we ain't beat them since 2003 when the boys went to state. But yeah, we was anxious to get them boys, man. The West was always a big game for us. Anytime we played Northwestern High School, that was always a big game. Like, that's bragging rights right there. So Carol City, Central, like they all bragging rights. So I'm glad we was able to at least accomplish that in my senior year, man. That was a fun night. I did get hurt that night, so it wasn't that fun, but I mean, it was fun, man. We won, bro. It was great energy, bro. It was beautiful, man. Like I still remember that. So but man, like I say, bro, man, I hope Tonio good, bro. The way his career ended in the NFL, man. Like, if I had the opportunity to speak with him, I would have told him I was disappointed in how he kind of, managed to handle that situation. Um, but clearly, if he made over 80 mil and he really don't got no money, If he really only has 50K in assets, man, like, I will also tell, I wish this is kind of what I want to try to help prevent, um, for players on the professional level as a sports consultant, through ASE Sports. This is kind of what I want to help prevent, man. I want to be a mentor to these guys. Like I say, I might not be able to manage your finances. I might not be able to make the investments for you, but I will be the individual in your corner, who's giving you the right direction, being the right type of guide for you to go to the right type of people, to take necessary steps to make sure that you're financially stable, as you go through your professional career, and then setting yourself up for post career success, post career management, because once you're done in the NFL, I mean, unless you become an analyst, I mean, you really you're losing, even if you become an analyst, I guess, unless you like a top analyst, you're losing a big salary. You're taking a big salary cut. So once you retire, the checks. I mean, I don't know if I think they got a pension plan, but you're not making millions of dollars like that no more. So you're gonna have to be able to manage, if you got two houses, five cars or whatever you got, what I'm saying, you got to be able to manage yourself. So I mean, I think a lot of guys, I mean, in the NFL, um, we've heard so many stories of like just like star players, all like even Hall of Fame players, Hall of Famers, who had to file for bankruptcy saying that they were broke, because they owe this to different creditors. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like, I mean, I think what Antonio played in the league, what less than what was it less than 10 years? When did Antonio Brown draft? Get draft? Excuse me. When did Antonio get signed at draft? Well, he was a sixth round steal in 2010. His last game. How long would AB in the field? 12 seasons. So excuse me. All right. So it was more than 10. 12 seasons, $80 million. I mean, if you breaking that down, what's that like? You know, I'm gonna go ahead and do the math, man. If you got 80 million, right? And that's over 12 years. He made at least 6 mil a year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could have took a million of that. You know what I'm saying? Like every year, you still have 12 million right now saved up, or you might, you could have took a million of that every year, put it into an investment, a smart investment, smart, stocks. Put it in a certificate deposit account. Like there's so many things that you could have just took, like a million of what you earn every season and put it there to help it grow. So once you're done and 12 seasons, or you still got some money left over, and you letting it sit, and it's just a nice nest egg that you're building up on. Um, but it's like, bro, it's so sad to see that, man. 12,000 yards, 88 touchdowns. Man, like, bro, like it was just so sad to see or hear that, man. I mean, it was sad to see how his career ended, how everything went down. Um, but it's even sadder to kind of see, this particular situation that he in, as far as his finances go. So, I mean, I hope he gets well. Hope he is well. Hope he stays well, man. But players, man, please, like, if you had the opportunity to earn, you know, to make these type of earnings, try to have somebody like, in your corner who's going to have your best interests at heart, man. Like, please vet these people. You don't just bring anybody in, man, and let them be a part of your entourage or part of your crew. Um, and it's sad to say, heck, you might have to watch some family, but make sure that you are vetting people who are coming into your space, bro, because people will take advantage of you. You going out here living, you playing in a high level sport. You got interviews, this, that. You got and yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, you can handle it. Yeah, go ahead and manage my cash or whatever, whatnot. But it's like, bro, like make sure the people are doing right, man. Check on your own stuff. Don't just like, hey, give your access to all your accounts to somebody and say, hey, yeah, you do that while I keep on going out here earning this. You manage that if you don't really know this person, or if you don't really trust this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, please don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to do better as far as guiding these players, man, the right way with their finances. And like I say, that's what I want to do. Um, as a sports consultant, part of what I want to do. Like I said, is just be a mentor there. Help these guys understand, like, financial literacy. And I'm still understanding myself, but you know, I'm trying to learn as much as I can so I can be able to, teach it to these guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, we have to do better. I mean, you got players getting caught up in the healthcare fraud. I talked about that in one of my other podcasts. You got players like getting caught up in those fraud schemes. Like I said, you got players who filing bankruptcy. Excuse me. Ooh, needed a drink there. Got on a little rant, but yeah, man, you got players filing bankruptcy. I mean, like, bro, I told my fiance the other day, I kind of rather, not have as much money right now as I'm working to try to, like, build up and, build myself up, build my business, and maybe, down the road, maybe I'll be able to earn a significant amount for what I do. But I rather right now not have a lot of money than to have had that much money and lost it. Um, kind of lost it over the course of my career and over the, you know, up to my current place in time. So, um, yeah, like I said, man, please, like, parents, guardians, man, if you are a true friend, if you are a mentor of a player or of an athlete who has the opportunity to earn, um, a significant amount of income based either on their name, image, and likeness if they're in college or if they go to the professional level and they sign a contract with the team, please, please make sure these guys understand financial literacy. Please make sure that these guys have good people in their corners. Um, and please make sure that they actually, manage, keep their hands, in their finances as well. You know what I mean? Make sure you guide them right, man, because it's sad to see, like I said, when this type of stuff happens. So, um, but yeah, so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. It's definitely been a pleasure to come on and be able to kind of speak with y'all today, talk through some things. Hopefully, next episode I have some good content for us. I definitely want to bring some content from or about topics that are geared more toward off the field activities. I definitely don't want to just cover sports and stats just like that. So, like I said, hopefully next episode when I do come back, hopefully it's not too long. Once I get get more free time in my life, I hope to be able to bust out a podcast every week. You know what I mean? I see some of these individuals out here, they're able to kind of really bust it out, man. So I respect their grind and what they're doing. And I'm gonna continue to try to push to build ASE Sports up and on the field, off the field up. So man, hopefully y'all stick with me, y'all rock with me. Hopefully, like I said, in the future we have some guests come on and we can kind of have some back and forth conversation there. And other than that, man, you all enjoy the rest of your weekend or the rest of the week whenever you catch this episode, man. You definitely just enjoy your day. And also remember, showing up shows you care. So be sure to show up for those who you care about. And I know we can't do it all the time, but definitely try to show up and show up as much as you can for people that you do care about. All right. With that, man, this has been another episode of On the Field, Off the Field, presented to you by ASE Sports. I am your host, G Watts, a.k.a. The Voice, and I am signing off from Blythewood, South Carolina. Peace, y'all.